This is definitely one of the laziest ways you guys could make money, and a lot of money. But for something to be considered a way for you to be able to make lazy money, it has to cover a few things. And so this idea and plan doesn't need you to have any sort of money invested into the business. This idea and plan is completely passive and doesn't actually demand your work once the work starts. Number 3, once it's up and running, you will not need to commit to more than 2 hours a week, absolutely maximum. Number 4, you can make tons and tons of money, more than 10,000, 20,000, or even 30,000 pounds a month. Number 5, you don't need social media, you don't need to put your face anywhere, and you don't need to sell a course. Number 6, even when you're starting off, you won't need to do more than 5 hours a week. And number 7, it will last for a long time. You can carry the business on for a long time. It's not a business that will only last 6 months or a year. In fact, it's for the long term. And so I promise you guys, take notes, take your time, and understand exactly what we're going to go through in this video, because this plan and this idea is something that could really change your life. Now, for the record, if anyone is thinking, it is not a recruitment company. And that is something that I started when I was 25 years old, and I'm 31 years old. It's one of the biggest places I make a lot of money, but that's not the business model and the full plan that I'm going to share with you today. I want to go over exactly how you can start the business, exactly how you can get the customers and the clients, exactly how you can make it completely passive, and exactly how you can continue to grow that company into something which obviously can make you a lot of money. Now, you guys have to understand something. When you're starting a business, in essence, what you're trying to do is solve a problem. You're solving a problem for the end customer because, well, when you solve a problem, it's much easier to charge a lot of money. It's much easier to have something on a passive basis. And in essence, you should always be thinking, where there's a problem, I need to come up with a solution. And that's exactly what a business is. Or rather, that's exactly how you start a successful business. And so today, in today's day and age, a lot of people are working from home. A lot of people are carrying the work out at least on a hybrid basis, or they want to do work on a hybrid basis, which therefore means if you can do work from home, let's say your name is Karen and you're at home and you're doing some work for a company and you're, a software engineer, or you're whatever you are, right? Whatever you are, and you're doing it from home. The reality is, let's be honest, as long as you have internet connection, you can probably do it from Brazil. You can probably do it from America. So actually, a lot of people, what they do is, though they're employed by the UK, they might go live in Dubai. They might go live in America. Or they might live in Thailand, right? And they might carry out work from there. Well, let me tell you something. There is a big problem right now, and you guys can come up with a solution. For the record, just so you guys know that I'm not waffling, I've actually done this myself, and alhamdulillah, please say Allahumma barik, because I don't like to share too much, to be honest with you, a lot of the times. And I got this business model, by the way, making £6,000 within 3 to 4 months period. But I made mistakes on the way, and I'm going to make this plan so easy for you guys. That is one of the laziest ways you guys can make money, and you can make a ton of money without even you working. And so obviously I've given you some teasers and stuff like that. So let me get into the crux of what we're talking about. An employee in the UK will cost a minimum of 20 to 22,000 pounds. That's a minimum, right? And to give you guys an idea, that's about £1,600 a month after tax and deductions, but actually to the business, it's costing about £1,800. So £1,800 is what it costs to have, well, an average employee that's going to cost £22,000. But if you had that employee doing the same work, by the way, on the same hours, but that person was working from home, it will still cost you £22,000 and therefore £1,800 a month. But if that person was in a different country, again, it's costing you the same amount. But what if that person wasn't actually someone from the UK? And so what if you employed someone in Pakistan? What if you employed someone in Thailand? What if you employed someone in a different country and paid them £400-500 and the average salary, if actually, to be fair, as I do, I always pay above market value. I always pay above market rate. So in Pakistan, the average salary, I would say the average salary for an office person is 80,000 rupees. And to give you an idea, 80,000 rupees is £225. That's not actually what I pay. I pay well above that. Actually, we pay more than 1 lakh rupees, 120, 150. And so we pay close to double market rates because we can, and because the return that we get on that person is actually quite a lot, right? And so I'm more than happy to pay double the market rates. And here you have to understand something, right? You are creating opportunities in a country which obviously needs opportunities. And I'll tell you exactly how I do this. I'm also going to tell you how you can go about getting clients and people paying you. And by the way, I say wallahi, by the way, just so you guys know how serious I'm being right now, in the last 2 months, I've probably spent maximum, 4 or 5 hours. I'm saying maximum, man. Like in 2 months, maximum of 4 hours of genuine work towards the Pakistan setup, which makes me at least, £6,000 plus. So just in case you think this isn't one of the laziest ways and one of the most passive ways, I'm telling you it is, because it's exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I've done. I've made some mistakes, which I'm going to share with you. But the point here being is if you employ someone in Pakistan, in Thailand, there are many places in India, you can actually employ someone by just putting an advert on Indeed. It's actually as simple as that. It's not even difficult. Put an advert on Indeed, you can put the country down, and you can start a job board. That's exactly what I do. It cost me about, I think it's about £5 a day, right? But within about a week, you have so many CVs, so many talented people, and it could be anything. Customer service, sales, people that are experts in AI, website builders, editors. There is no limit to the skills that you can find in these countries. And it's important for me to mention this and explain to you guys that I promise you, where you think the skills are lacking, the communication skills are lacking, as long as you pay right, you are going to save your companies, your clients, and the people that you're going to provide the service for at least 50% of the cost of employees. And you guys might be thinking, surely for a company, the cost of employees isn't that high. Well, let me give you an example. If you had 100 employees, which probably be classed as a medium-sized company, it's not even that big of a company, right? 100 employees, and let's say they were getting paid £3,000 on average. Bearing in mind, some are on £2,000 and some are on like £5,000, £6,000, £7,000 because, they're senior management directors and so on and so forth. So let's just say £3,000. You're spending £300,000 every single month. Every single month. So now, if you could solve a problem for that company by offsetting, the cost of 20 people to a different place, to a different country, that could be Thailand, that could be Pakistan, that could be a different place, right? And 20 people, that would be like a fully fledged business, by the way, right? And you could save them easily, right? If it's costing them £2,000 for one person, you could provide that one person for £1,000. You could save them 50% of the cost of having that employee, 100%. But we want to do things the lazy way. We don't want to do things the hard way, right? If you want to make tons of money, that is a route you can take. Now, I need you guys to comment below, and if you really want to understand this in depth, comment below full plan, and I'll make this like an hour and a half, hour-long video and go through every single step. I'm actually going to Pakistan, so if you guys comment and let me know, then I can sort of give you the more in-depth part of that office review and so on and so forth. And you guys might be thinking like, well, I don't want to have an office, etc., etc. Honestly, you don't. All you need to do is put an advert on Indeed. Start looking for people, put the ad out, people start coming in, speak to those people, and then get those people work. Now, how will you go about getting those people work? Start with one person. Start with one really, really, really good person. And what I need you to start doing from today is being active on LinkedIn. Use LinkedIn because LinkedIn is super, super, super powerful. And document your journey. Because if you start documenting your journey, you will start getting traction. People will start seeing what you're doing. And now if you can get one person and they're getting paid £500-600, for example, and they're really, really, really good, and you can convince a company to use you, for that one person, they will happily pay you £1,000, £1,200 easily. They will easily do that, right? And you need to get a company from LinkedIn. Go and see which companies are advertising for similar roles. Speak to companies, email companies. You can get a ton of details and contact details of Apollo. There are other websites where you can get a lot of details of companies, contacts, and people in certain sectors and markets. And so send emails out. Like you could send 1,000 emails out these days with certain softwares. And again, just comment below the full plan so I can go through every single little detail if this is something you're interested in. But you would pick up the phone, you would send emails, you would be active on LinkedIn, and you need one company to get that one person to work from India, Pakistan, or Thailand, wherever you feel that you want to hire people from. And that could be virtual assistants, administrators, software guys, AI people, sales people, marketing, editors. The scope is crazy. One person, you could be making easily £600, £700, £800 a month. But let's do the maths together now. Because if you had 10, 15 people working from these other places and you just found a company or 2-3 companies that were happy to use people, which by the way, they are, because a lot of the guys that I get from are on LinkedIn, and we just ask the question and so many people start saying, we need people, we need people. And honestly, the demand is crazy because obviously they're saving 50% of their cost. Why would they not use you? Obviously, they're going to use you, right? Now, imagine someone's doing the work, you're sitting at home and you're doing nothing. Like, how more lazy could you get? Someone is doing the work, you are the middleman, you got the company, someone to work from in India, in Pakistan, in Thailand, wherever. Once you've done that work, once you've been a bit active, once you've got the client on, once you've found that person, Do you think it will take more than 5 hours a week? No, it's not going to take more than 5 hours a week. You could do this whilst you're working a job. You just need to commit some time, and then you just need to map how's things. Everything all right? Client, everything all right? Do you need anyone else? I'll find someone else, because guess what? You put these adverts out and you've got like 300 people that are interested in working a job, and they're going to get paid above market rate, and you can provide the service to these companies, which, by the way, you're going to save them a lot of money. And these guys, I promise you one thing, they work very hard. Actually, compared to some of the staff in the UK and in the West, they work much harder, if I'm being completely honest. It's one of the easiest ways, one of the laziest ways you guys can make a lot of money. But again, if you want me to go through the full plan for a whole hour, every single website, every single technique, every single call, whatever you want me to do, I can go through that. Let me know in the comments, and I will try my best to deliver the best value I can possibly deliver for you. But if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because we're going to put out more and more content which is going to be super valuable.